Welcome back to another explainer where we take a source document and turn it into clear visual insights. Today we're decoding IBM Cognos Analytics. It's a remarkably powerful tool designed specifically to take raw, overwhelming numbers and transform them into clear, actionable business decisions.
We've got a great roadmap today. We're going to cover 5 key areas: meeting IBM Cognos Analytics, learning the language of data, preparing that raw data, building smart data modules, and finally, refining and analyzing those insights. Let's just dive right in.
Section 1, meet IBM Cognos Analytics. To really grasp the power of this platform, we're going to anchor our explainer around a real-world scenario. So, picture a retail company. They are absolutely desperate to answer 3 massive questions to survive in a hyper-competitive market. They need to know which product sells the most, which city has the highest sales, and what exactly are their monthly profit trends. Without hard data, executives are completely flying blind here. They're making expensive guesses instead of strategic, calculated moves.
To actually answer those questions, they have to rely on business intelligence, or BI. Think of BI like a commercial kitchen, where we take raw data ingredients and cook them up into a fully plated meal of insights. IBM Cognos is exactly that. It's an enterprise-grade BI kitchen that seamlessly collects, analyzes, and presents your data so you can make highly informed decisions. It's literally the difference between staring at a chaotic wall of receipts and holding a clear, concise profit strategy.
Moving to Section 2, the language of data. Gathering our ingredients. Because before we can start cooking in Cognos, we have to gather our ingredients and truly understand the language of our data pantry.
It all starts with a data source. This is the physical location where your raw information actually lives. It might just be a simple Excel or CSV file stored locally on your desktop, or it could be a massive SQL Server or Oracle database humming away in the cloud. Basically, think of this as the vast well we're drawing our water from.
Now, from that massive source, we pull a data set. This is the specific collection of related facts we actually want to analyze. For our retail company, we really don't need the whole database. Just a data set pulling together critical columns like product name, quantity sold, price, and profit margins. It's all about bringing focus to what is otherwise a sheer volume of information.
But you've probably noticed that those columns hold very different kinds of information. And this is exactly why understanding data types is absolutely crucial. You see, you can perform calculations on numeric data, like a $500 sales transaction, but you obviously cannot mathematically sum up text strings, like the word laptop or deli. Recognizing these distinct differences early on ensures your calculations run smoothly down the line and prevents software errors when you actually start analyzing.
All right, Section 3, preparing your raw data. Let's wash and chop those ingredients and see how this builds into the critical prep phase of our workflow.
Getting your data into Cognos is a breeze. You are completely bypassing the old days of waiting weeks for IT to do it for you. The workflow is so straightforward. You just log in, click Upload Files, select your spreadsheet, and hit Upload. The magic happens instantly. The software automatically reads your columns and categorizes your data right there on the spot.
But you know the old saying, right? Garbage in, garbage out. You cannot blindly trust raw data. Once it's uploaded, data preparation is crucial to ensure absolute accuracy. This means removing duplicates and handling missing values so our final analysis isn't completely ruined by bad ingredients. We're also going to correct column names and strip out extra spaces so our data is pristine and ready for modeling.
Which brings us to Section 4, building smart data modules. Time to write the recipe by combining our distinct data points. A data module is this incredibly powerful self-service tool that lets you organize and combine multiple tables easily. And the best part? It's entirely code-free. This really democratizes the data modeling process, allowing everyday business users to prep data and build complex relationships without needing a computer science degree. It puts the analytical power directly in the hands of the decision makers.
Now here's where things get really interesting. In the real world, you almost never have just one giant spreadsheet. You usually have a separate customers table and an orders table. So how do we make them talk to each other? How do we link a customer, like Aman, to his specific sales figures?
Well, to connect them, we use what's called a primary key. Take the unique customer ID that specifically identifies our shopper, Aman. Think of the primary key as an unchangeable fingerprint for each row in your database. No 2 customers can share the same ID, which effectively prevents any messy mix-ups in your final report. Then we link that exact primary key over to a foreign key in the orders table. This perfectly connects a man to his $500 purchase. The foreign key acts as a sturdy bridge between the two tables, telling Cognos exactly which orders belong to which specific shopper. It ensures our narrative remains perfectly accurate across different sources. To lock this connection in, we use joins to dictate exactly how these tables merge. An inner join, for instance, makes sure we only look at customers who actually placed an order, cutting out the noise of inactive accounts. You can also use left or right joins to prioritize data from one specific table, or a full join to return absolutely everything, ensuring zero data gets left behind in your analysis.
Finally, Section 5, Refining and Analyzing Insights. Time to serve the meal. Once our tables are joined and talking to each other, we can finally plate this up.
We start refining our view using filters. Say you only want to look at the North region. Boom, you instantly cut out the noise of nationwide data. Then we sort the data, maybe descending, to put our highest sales right at the very top, instantly spotlighting our top performers. This step is all about stripping away distractions so executives can focus strictly on what matters.
Next up, aggregations. This is how we summarize thousands of individual rows into meaningful totals. Instead of staring at microscopic line items, we zoom out to a macroscopic view. We can generate a sum total of revenue, calculate the average transaction value, or quickly pinpoint the absolute maximum sale of the month to spot emerging trends.
But what happens if a critical metric is just missing from our raw data? Well, we just create a calculated column. Cognos lets us use basic formulas directly in the data module to perform custom math. For example, simply subtracting cost from sales to finally reveal our true profit margin.
That simple calculation instantly gives our retail company the exact profit metric of 300 that they need to evaluate their monthly trends. No manual spreadsheets, no desk calculators required. Just a clean, automated calculation that continuously updates as fresh data flows right into the system.
And finally, all of that meticulous prep work pays off in a beautiful, interactive dashboard visualization. Using bar charts, line graphs, and key performance indicators, executives can easily spot which product sells the most in a single glance. We've successfully taken a chaotic spreadsheet of abstract numbers and turned it into a compelling visual narrative that actually drives action.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question. We've just walked through the structured journey from messy raw numbers to perfectly clear strategic visualizations. So, what incredible story is hiding in your own raw data, just waiting for the right tools to bring it to life? Keep exploring, and thanks so much for joining me today.